No, I kind of know what I'm doing. Good afternoon, guys. How are things? We'll get started in about a minute's time. We have got our Pilates 115 class today. So again, the Pilates that we're going to do today is appropriate for all levels. And if you haven't done it before, at the start of the class, I'm going to take a bit of time to run through the concepts of it and a little bit of work on the pelvic floor activation. So I use a technique and you can use that too. Anybody who's done Pilates before though and wants to use their own technique or is just comfortable enough, just use that time to just connect through your pelvic floor and TBAs. Anybody who's new to us will take that opportunity just to practice it at the start. And it mightn't make sense the first time you do it, but over time and over practice, it will become something that you just get used to and you will get good at. So in terms of equipment, guys, just have a mat ready. And I'm just going to set up my camera here just so you can see. Make sure I'm in shot. So I have a crossed mat. The reason I just have that crossed mat is just so you can see me from different angles at certain times. So you'll just need the one mat and just make sure that you're comfortable in whatever position you're in. Right, guys, so we'll start. Again, we'll start off with our activation work. We'll do a little bit of a flow warm-up and then straight into our main body of our workout. And we're talking about 45 minutes thereabouts today in terms of time of the session. Okay, so starting off, guys, we'll just start by resetting our posture. And again, we always talk about a 50-50 alignment when we're doing Pilates, so a neutral spine position. So we're just going to use a simple technique to practice that to begin with. So we'll start off, feet about shoulder to hip width apart, just pushing the big toes into the ground, just gently rise the arches off the mat. So feel like you're gripping the mat with your feet. From there, we'll close the fingers together, thumbs open up nice and wide, roll the shoulder blades back and down, elongate the neck, looking straight ahead. From there, placing our right thumb in against the bottom of our sternum, so that breastbone through the middle of your body, finding just the bottom of your sternum, palm facing the floor, and from there we'll do the same to the pubic bone. So with the left thumb pushing in against that pubic bone, so both palms facing the floor from there. And all we're going to do is I want you to make sure that your top hand is stacked directly above your bottom hand. Sometimes what we find is if we're tilted forward or back, that our hands won't be stacked directly on top. So by maneuvering yourself from your hips or by dropping your rib cage down, just make sure your top hand is directly above your bottom hand. And that brings you into a nice 50-50 position. So from there, we'll bring ourselves back to that standing position, holding that straight line through the body. And from there, we'll begin our pelvic floor activation. So again, right index finger, I just want you to find your pubic bone with your right index finger. Just find that point of contact. And then with your left index finger, finding your tailbone. So finding those 2 points of contact. And from there, I want you to really imagine the space now between your 2 fingers. So that space between your right index finger and your left index finger, between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Imagining that space now. And when we activate our pelvic floor, we get the sensation of preventing ourselves from going to the toilet. So it's a gentle internal squeeze. When we squeeze, we don't want to activate too strong through the body or through the glutes. Think about that gentle internal squeeze. And that pelvic floor, we think of it as a band of muscle. And we're going to feel like it's being pulled up toward the ceiling, so we're growing taller as we engage. So take a deep breath in. Imagine that space now. As you exhale out, gently squeezing, drawing those 2 points of contact together, that internal squeeze. We'll feel ourselves become taller as we take an inhale again. Exhaling out, drawing up from the bottom. Feel the connection up through each rib. Feel it being pulled towards the roof. So you're engaging in and up. Deep breath in again. And as you exhale out, deep breath in, exhale out, drawing up from the bottom, engaging strong through that pelvic floor. So with that pelvic floor engagement, think of drawing together and lifting from the bottom. So we're well supported up to our midsection. Every time we take an inhale, we try and hold whatever connection we have. Every time we take an exhale, we try and reestablish that connection again or increase that connection through the exhale. Good. So again, bringing our hands back down by our sides. And again, just thinking about that drawing together and drawing up from the bottom. Think of that belly button gently being pulled back towards the spine through each pelvic floor engagement. Okay, from there, guys, we're going to go into a couple of gentle leg swings. So bring yourself to your right-hand side of the mat. Left foot is on the mat, right foot is on the floor. From there, we're just going to gently kick forward and back into a gentle leg swing. Let that toe brush off the ground. Now, think of that pelvic floor engagement again, that gentle squeeze, that lift up from the bottom. We're stabilizing through that standing leg. We'll draw that knee up and point the toe towards the ground, and we hold that position. From there, turn the toe up to face the ceiling. So toe is now facing straight ahead. From there, it's going to cycle. So bicycle kick forward, leading with the heel coming through for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and reverse bicycle. So kicking in and through, a little reach behind, going back through that rotation. 3, 2, and 1. Good. To the opposite side. And again, guys, if you see me just changing positions, it's just to give you an idea of the visual from the front and from the side. You don't have to change positions. So root the right foot into the ground now, starting off with a couple of gentle leg swings again. Allowing that toe to point through as we kick through. Hold steady through the hips. Pelvic floor connected, working on that gentle squeeze, breathing relaxed. And we draw the knee up to the hip. Point the toe towards the floor and holding that position strong. Good, and from there, turn the toe to face the wall in front or toes up towards the ceiling. And we're going to cycle forward for 4, 3, 2, 1. Change the direction of the rotation for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. From there, guys, bring yourself to the back of your mat. Good, feet at about hip width apart again. Root the toes down into the ground. So again, gently draw the arches off the mat. So again, feel like we're squeezing the mat with our feet. From there, let the body hang down towards the toes. Let the head fall towards the floor. And from there, we walk the hands off the floor. 3 steps. 1, 2, and 3. Bring ourselves into a high plank position. Engaging strong through that pelvic floor now. So think about that belly button being pulled back towards the spine. Pulling sensation, moving up towards the head. From there, bending the knees, lower the knees to the floor. And from there, gently lower the chest to the floor. Point the toes back behind you. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale out, push the hands gently into the mat. Keep the hips down. Keeping the head in neutral, so just looking out over the top of your mat. Inhaling, dropping the chest back to the floor through the inhale. Turn the toes into the mat. And as you exhale out, sit back onto the heels. Drop the head and chest down between the arms. And we take a breath in here. Inhaling. Lifting the bum off the heels and knees off the ground. Back to that strong high plank position again. Pelvic floor engaged. Good strong connection. From there, push the heels back into the ground through the exhale. Let the head and chest drop low between the arms. Sit the tailbone high to the ceiling. From there, back into our high plank position once more. From there, just lower knees down to the ground. Sitting back onto the heels, guys. So lay the laces onto the ground or the socks onto the ground, where you have your laces usually on your runners. Sitting up onto the heels. Okay, so we're going to move into our first move, guys, through here. What we're going to do is, again, what we'll find here is sometimes in this position, we take a lot of pressure through our wrist and hand. So if anybody wants to make that a little bit less taxing on the wrist and hand, you can roll up the front of your mat. Placing the palms of the hands on the mat and just lay the fingertips onto the ground. It just takes a little bit of the angle out of the wrist through the move and also adds a little bit extra cushion, okay? So for this move, we're gonna think about moving slowly and moving only the leg. I'm gonna demo the move first, so here's what we're looking for. We'll bring ourselves to a quadruped position. We'll have our toes turned up into the ground. From there, we'll engage through our pelvic floor from here. We'll then bring one leg back, keep the engage. We'll bring the opposite leg back, keep the engage. From there, we're going to exhale, bring the knee in, and inhale, bring the leg back. Now, what I want you to focus on when you're doing this is not feel like you have to bring the knee all the way in and hips drop. Just bring the knee in as far as you can, but I want you to focus on what the rest of your body is doing as opposed to what your leg is doing, okay? So when we get into that move, focus on the parts that aren't moving as opposed to the parts that are. I'm going to let the move run. If you need to take a break at any time or take the pressure off the wrists, take your rest whenever you need to. We're going to go for 2 rounds of 20 seconds on each side for this one. With 20 seconds going slow, we might only get in and out with each leg 3 times, okay? So we're going to stick to the right leg only on the first one, moving in and out. So bring yourself into that quadruped position, okay? Bring the knees below the hips and hands below the shoulders. From there, bring that pelvic floor connection. Make sure our back is nice and flat in our strong 50-50 neutral position. From there, engage through the pelvic floor. Bring one leg back behind. Keep the strong engagement through the pelvic floor and bring the second leg into a high plank position. From there, exhale, bring the knee in. Inhale, bring the leg back. Exhale, leg in. And let your leg movement completely synchronize around your breath. From there, lower right knee to ground, lower left knee to ground. The next round we're going to do, guys, is going to be all left side, and the last round is going to be right and left side alternating between each leg. As we're there, just take one opportunity to get a nice stretch through the spine or a move through the spine. Cat-cow, tucking chin to belt buckle, sitting hips back, pulling shoulder blades. So arching and curving the spine, just moving up the spine. We'll go with the opposite leg. So get to our 50-50 position, nice flat back. Engage through that pelvic floor. Bring one leg back behind. Bring the opposite leg back behind. Holding that strong connection. From there, exhale, bring the left knee in this time. Inhale, bring the leg back. And let that movement completely sync around your breathing. So only bring the leg in through the exhale. And only bring it back through the inhale. Again, focus on what the rest of the body is doing. 3, 2, 1. Lower both knees to the ground. Again, just taking pressure off the hands and wrists. Our last round of these, guys, we're going to do each side. So right side first, then left side, right side, left side, alternating between each leg, again for 20 seconds. Let's look to do 2 each side to 3 each side. Again, nice and slow movement through it. Okay, when we're ready, quadruped position again. Strong engagement to the pelvic floor. Powerhouse switched on. Bringing one leg back. Hold the connection as we lift into our high plank position. And now we move every second leg. Exhale in, inhale, back. Exhale in, inhale, back. And again, clock is running, taking your time. Don't allow the hips to drop, just allow the leg to move in and back. Keep the connection strong through the pelvic floor. 5 seconds to go. Keep the same speed. 3, 2, 1. Knees down to the ground. Again, you can let your mat roll back if you were having it roll back there for extra support and cushion. And from there, I just want you to bring your knees the width of the mat. Toes together. Sit the sitting bones back onto the heels. And from there, drop the head and chest down. Walk the hands out the floor. Drop the head and forehead to the ground if we can and we're comfortable. Good. From there, guys, We're going to transfer onto our side. We're going to move into a side plank, and we're going to do a half lever bridge here. Okay, so again, a lot of us will be used to side plank from our feet to our elbow or forearm. From here, we're going to bend the knees back to 90 degrees. I'll show you from the opposite way so you can see in a second. And from there, we're going to do a couple of reps. Again, strong engagement, hand up to the ceiling, and we're going to bridge up and down. Okay, so that's going to be our move on this one. Okay, so seeing me from the side, get you to lie straight. Nice straight line down the middle of your mat. Okay, and from there, it's going to bend our knees to about 90 degrees. So we have a right angle through the leg. Okay, and from that position, placing fingertips of the right arm on the floor, bringing the left hand up to the ceiling. From here, we're going to do 5 reps, hold for 10 seconds, relax back down, and then we're going to do 5 reps again, hold for 10 seconds. We switch to the opposite side. Exhaling, lifting up, inhaling, relaxing down. So take 3 seconds minimum to go up, 3 seconds minimum to go down. So slow our speed down. If you want to just follow my speed, fall in with my speed. It'll be nice and slow. Are we ready to go? So we're bridging up by just lifting those hips up and forward. Ready in 3, 2, exhaling out, pushing the knees into the floor. Inhale, relax back down. And up. Inhale down. Inhale, drop down, 3, done, 2 to go. Bridging up and down. On the next one, guys, we go down, we bridge up, and we hold for 10 seconds. Bridge up and hold. We're lowering those hips back down through the inhale. In 3, 2, 1. Inhale, drop down slowly. Take a breath in recovery. And once more, push the knee and hand into the floor. Lift those hips high. Inhale, coming back down. 1 rep done. Exhaling out. Drive the hips high. Inhale, relax back down. 3rd rep. Exhaling out. Bridging up. Inhale, coming back down. 2 to go. Driving up through the exhale. Inhale, dropping back down. Next one, driving up for 5 reps. And we hold it high for 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Swapping over then, guys, to the opposite side. So you can just turn around and face the opposite way. If you want to keep your eye on what I'm doing for your demos, you can just turn around on the mat so you're facing the screen. Let's line ourselves up again, down through the middle of the mat in a straight line. So from head to shoulder to hip to knee to ankle, we've got a straight line. From there, let's bend those knees to 90 degrees. Ideally, we still have the ankles below the hips, but the knees are now in front of us, okay? So we focus on when we lift the hips up, not just lifting them up, we want to lift up and forward. Okay, same again. 5 reps into a hold, 5 reps into a hold. Bring the right hand up to the sky on this one. From there, exhaling out, drive the hips up and forward. Inhale down, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling up, 3, 2, 1. Inhale down, 3, 2, 1. Exhale up, 3, 2, 1 for 3. Back down, 3, 2, 1. 4th rep. Bridging up, 3, 2, 1. Back down, 3, 2, 1. 5th rep, 3, 2, 1. Up and hold that position. So hips are high, hips are forward. 6 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering hips back down. We go again. Bridging up for 3, 2, 1. Dropping back down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, coming up. Sorry, exhale, coming up. 2, 1. Inhale, coming down. 3, 2, 1. 3 to go. Exhale, driving up. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, coming down. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, coming up for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, coming down. 3, 2, and 1. Last one. Exhale, going up for 3, 2, 1. And we hold high. 3, 2, 1, and lower down slowly. Good. From there, guys, bring yourself around into a seated position. Okay, we're going to work into a couple of rolls first, guys. So we're going to start with our half-point roll, and from there we're going to move into our full roll. Now, if you require if it's a little bit uncomfortable on the back, if you go into your full roll, guys, if you have a second mat, perfect, you can stack it on top again, or you can double over the mat that you're on, working in a small space here. We're going to start off with our half-point roll, okay? So for our half-point roll, we sit tall, we lift up from the pelvic floor. We're going to place our hands on the ground behind us, slight bend in the elbows, and we're going to have our fingertips pointing towards our toes. From there, we're going to lift our feet off the ground, and from there, without letting the heels touch the ground, we're just going to gently roll forward and back. So you're rolling onto your hands and coming back tall. All the while, keep that strong engagement through the pelvic floor, and from there, we're going to move into full rolls after that if you're comfortable. Okay, so from there, pelvic floor engaged, pull tall to the ceiling. Hands just down by the hips, fingertips pointing towards the toes. Point the toes away, have a slight bend through the knee. From there, roll back, allow yourself to roll onto your hands, come through and control the body weight forward. Again, keep a strong connection through that pelvic floor as you move up and down. Gentle rock forward and back. Again, you're trying to control without letting the toes or the heels touch the ground on the way through. Keep a strong connection to that pelvic floor, so think keep pulling that belly button back towards the spine. Relax the feet to the floor, guys. From there, we're going to go into our full point roll. So from there, we're going to interlock the hands around the backs of the legs. From there, trick to this is keep the back in a nice curve. Tuck the chin into the chest, looking down towards the belly button. And from there, we're going to roll back up onto the shoulders and roll through. Again, if you want, touch the toes off the ground at the top to make it a little bit more challenging. Try and sit tall at the top each time without allowing those toes to touch the ground. To make it tougher, we can have our hands resting less on our legs or even out to the side. So again, work through that one, guys. If that one's too difficult or too uncomfortable, you can always go back to your half-point roll, keeping the back off the mat. Okay? Go and let it run for 30 seconds, guys. So have a bit of fun with it now. Rolling back. We're trying to have the body in a nice ball shape, nice curve through the spine. Roll right up towards the shoulder blades. Feel a nice massage up through the back as you roll forward and back. And then begin to challenge yourself. Keep the body in a nice curve. Toes not touching the ground on the way back. Keep engaged through that pelvic floor. Nice and tall. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. 8, 7. Time for 1 or 2 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good job, guys, from there. From there, we're just going to cross those feet over. Okay, so easy sitting pose here, guys. Relaxing the hands down onto the knees. Let the body relax. Now, in a second, we're going to re-establish our good posture. So we're talking pulling ourselves up once more through that pelvic floor. What I want you to do to help you with your posture, imagine you're sitting back against a wall. Again, I use this quite a lot. Imagine if you're sitting back against a wall, you have 3 points of contact with the wall. The back of your head, your shoulder blades, and then your tailbone, okay? So all 3 points of contact against the wall. What we find if we're in a slouched position, and if we're sitting back against the wall in a slouched position, mid part of my back will be touching the wall. What I want to do is I want to pull myself tall, stack the spine, nice and strong, nice and tall, and that's my position from there what I'm looking for. Okay, so good strong seated position, back against the wall, spine is stacked. From there, it's going to go into a couple of rotations. So we'll bring right hand in front of right shoulder, left hand in front of left shoulder, and from there I just want you to cross to the opposite shoulders, lift the elbows up nice and high. Now, the head stays connected to the body here, so as we rotate around, I don't want you to look around the corner, I just want your head to see as much as you can rotate. So it's going to be exhale, rotate around. Inhale, come back in. Keep the spine stacked, so every time you re-sit, back to center, regain that posture. Good. Engage that pelvic floor. One more on this side. Let's work to the opposite side now, guys. Exhaling. Keep the posture high as you rotate around. 2 more. Good. Relax the hands back down to the legs. Give the arms a rest for a second. We're going to move into the same rotations again. This time we're going to go with arms out nice and wide. Just increase the intensity of the stretch. Feeling a little bit more into the shoulder blades on this one. We're going to go for 2 each side. So from there, bring the right hand out to the side, left hand out to the side, up to shoulder height. As you rotate around now, so if we're going to the right hand side, think about lifting that right hand slightly up as you rotate around. So we're not dropping into our posture. So use that right hand to pull you tall as you move around. Posture up, stack the spine against the wall. From there, exhaling around the corner. Inhale to center. Let your breath guide you through the speed. 1 more. And to the opposite side. Inhale. Exhale. Allow the breath to guide you. Good, and reset the hands back down. From there, we're just going to bring the hands in front of the body. From there, we're just going to walk the hands on as far as we can, melting the chest towards the mat, towards the legs, opening the hips out further and getting a stretch through the back as well. Good, from there, bringing the hands back. From there, we're just going to straighten the legs out on the floor. Okay, and from there, guys, into a couple of forward bends here. Sitting tall again, spine stacked against the wall. I'm going to change my body position so you can see what I'm looking for here on this one. Again, those of you who've done this with me before, again, know what I'm looking for. So what we're trying to do is, we're trying to get a nice stretch up to the middle to upper part of our back here. So in order to do that, we're going to bring our hands to shoulder height. And that is as low as we're allowing our hands to drop, okay? So if I'm at shoulder height there, imagine my hands are resting on a table. I'm going to reach over my toes, but I'm going to keep my hands on the table. I'm not able to drop forward. I need to stay tall. I need to reach, keeping my hands at shoulder height minimum. As I reach forward, my head comes down. As I restack, I inhale. I sit tall, I drop my shoulder blades down and hands at shoulder height again. Away we go. Exhaling, reaching forward. Inhaling, sliding back. So I want you to focus on your breath here. I'm not going to say when to move in and out of the stretch. You're going to move into the stretch when you're exhaling. You're going to move out as you inhale. Take a steady flow of your breath here. 3 to 4 seconds for an inhale and the same for an exhale. So bring control to your breathing, bring a steady flow to your breathing, and move in and out of the stretch with your breath. Main thing you are focusing on here is not letting those hands drop any lower than shoulder height. Good, 1 or 2 more. And from there, we're going to move then into our supine position. Restack the spine when you're ready there, guys. From there, seated position, I want you to bend your right knee. Interlock the fingers around the knee, and you're just going to lower yourself back slowly into that supine position. And from here, we're just going to open the hips out gently before we move into our exercises working on our abdominals. Okay, so soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide in this position. Okay, and again, I want you to bring focus of attention back to your breathing here. Relax your breath. And you're focusing here on allowing those knees and legs to completely switch off. Think of those knees falling towards the floor. Relaxed breath. From there, very gently, I want you to push your feet into each other, rising the hips up off the mat. And we're going to hold that position. Keep that position held nice and high, guys. And as we hold that position, keep imagining your knees going wider, getting closer to the ground. Strong engagement through the hamstrings and glutes here to keep the hips high. And we're allowing those hips to open up a bit further. From there, lowering the hips back to the ground nice and slowly. From there, place the feet flat on the floor once more. Knees are bent to 90 degrees. Good. From there, guys, we're going to move into a series of 100s. So, with our 100s, guys, and again, people who've done this before will be aware of how they work. Anybody who's new, and again, is feeling, anybody who's new, don't feel the need to stay up for the full length of time we're working for here. We're going to go for 10 breaths of 10 seconds. What the move will look like is we'll have one leg and 2 legs at 90 degrees in our dead bug position or tabletop leg position. From there, our hands will be above our shoulders. From there, we will pull ourselves up from the ground, looking between our legs, and we're going to hold that position strong. To make it a little bit easier, I want you just to break it up. So I want you to rest when you need to, but be involved in the move as much as you can. When you're lifting yourself up from the ground, guys, where we placed our thumb earlier on our sternum, the bottom position of our sternum, that part of your body, I want you to imagine you're pulling yourself up from low on your t-shirt. And what this avoids is basically just lifting the chin to look between the legs. Okay, so think about lifting the shoulders, not just lifting the head. It will make the move tougher, but I want you to rest when you need to within the move. Okay, so we're going to go for 10 breaths of 10 seconds. Okay, so I'll be doing the move as well, which means my count will probably be a little bit quicker than usual. Okay, right, guys, so focus on your breath when you get into position. So, pubic bone to tailbone. Let's activate that pelvic floor. Strong connection. Take that second to get that activation. From there, bringing right foot up to tabletop position. Keep the connection and follow with the left leg. Toes pointing away from the body. Shins are at a strong angle. Tabletop position. Hands come above the shoulders. And from there, initiate the movement from our sternum, lifting from low on our t-shirt. We lift up, we reach beyond the pockets, hands pointing long, body steady, and we're into our time already. So try and keep the chin away from the chest, guys, if at all possible. Looking between the legs, looking down to the wooden floor or the floor beneath our body. And just relax the body and relax yourself into your breathing. Pull the shoulders up, pull the belly button down towards the spine. Five breaths done. 5 breaths to go. Nothing moving, and you're controlling your breath around the rest of the body. Keep pulling the belly button down. Anything being felt in the back, I want you to relax the shoulders back down to the ground and take a breath in recovery. Seven breaths done, 3 breaths to go. Pull the shoulders high. Eight breaths done, 2 breaths to go. Pull the shoulders high. Last 10 seconds. Grab onto the backs of the legs. Relax the head and shoulders back down to the ground. Just interlock the hands around the knees. And just get a couple of gentle rocks forward and back. And then from side to side, just massaging out the internal organs and getting a nice stretch through the back. From there, placing feet back on the floor. Bring the hands back down to the ground and relax then, guys, into our corrective position. Bring focus of attention back to your breath again, guys. 3 seconds inhale, 3 seconds exhale. Just checking the time there. Luckily I did. My battery's on 1%. You almost lost me. Keep going there, guys. Keep relaxed breath. Cool. So we've got about 7 minutes to go, guys. We're going to go into a round of dead bugs, and we're going to work with reps here on this one. Okay, so it's going to be a similar movement in terms of lifting our shoulders up and down. We're going to include a leg movement as well with that. So it'll be every second leg, right to left side. And we'll be lifting our shoulders up and down off the ground in sync with our breath and our leg movement. So you can have a look at the screen for a second just to see what I'm doing. We'll have, again, that strong tabletop position. We'll have our hands above our shoulders. From here, with our leg, we're going to extend long. And as we extend the leg long, we will follow with the head and body from our sternum up. So we extend, we lift, we reset, back down. So let's try and time it so that when our leg reaches full extension, we're fully coming up. And as we lower our head back to the ground, our head reaches the ground just as we reset to position. So let's try and sync them properly. We're going to go for 3 rounds of 20 seconds on this. If anybody wants more of a challenge, they can continue to work through the rest if you are strong. Or 4 rounds 2 and 3, or rounds 3, whatever way you want to work it, you can move into a leg lower doing the same move. So it'll be down, lift up, reset back down. So we'll all start with dead bug for round 1. Then by round 2, you can decide, do you need to make it tougher? Do you go leg lower for round 2 and 3? Or do you stay the same for round 2, leg lower for round 3, whatever you want. 3 rounds of 20 seconds here, guys. We're going to finish them with a bit of a push-up series to finish off the class. Okay, right, so feet flat on the floor. Bring right leg up to tabletop position. Engage through that pelvic floor. Hold the connection. Bring the second leg to tabletop again. Hands over shoulders. This time we're lifting up with our exhale. We're lowering down with our inhale. Completely synchronize it around your breath now. Don't worry about the time. 3, 2, 1. Away we go. Looking down the inside of that leg that isn't moving. Focus on keeping that leg as steady as we can. 10 seconds to go. Two, one. Relaxing the feet back to the floor. 10 seconds off. Second round of 20 seconds. If you want to make it tougher, move to that leg lower position, guys, but only move up if we can do the move to close to perfection. So again, what we shouldn't see on that leg lower one is not being able to hold that leg straight. If it's bending in any way, let's get the move done we can do properly. Okay, connect to the pelvic floor. Right leg to tabletop, follow with the left leg. Hold that position strong. Imagine a tray of drinks across your shins. We'll hold those trays of drinks without spilling anything off them. Let's go. Exhaling out, lift the leg up. They seem steadier already. Ten seconds. And relax. Feet flat to the floor. Take 10 seconds. Good. Okay, our third and final round of this, guys, and then to our push-up series to finish off. Engage your pelvic floor once more for the last time on these ones. Right leg up to tabletop. Hold the connection as you bring the second leg up to tabletop position. From there, hands above shoulders, 20 seconds, moving first through our exhale. 3, 2, 1, and away we go. Let the body follow that leg. Following your own breath. Time for one more on each side. And relax, hands to knees. And hugging in once more. From there, guys, straighten the left leg. And just using the hands interlocked around the finger to pull ourselves up into a seated position. Just sitting to the back of your mat. Again, if you can transition the same way I do, perfect. If not, just flip around into an all-fours position. Just cross the legs over. From there, I'm just going to move through into my all-fours position. Okay, so we'll meet in that quadruped position here, guys. Rounds of push-ups again, guys. So again, thinking about the wrists to take pressure off again. Let's roll up that mat. Through our push-ups this time, just think about your alignment first. So here's what we're looking for. From the quadruped position, we're going to bring the knees back slightly. From there, we need to roll off that bony part of our knee. So we're rolling off that kneecap. So we're bringing our hips forward. So we're just on the tops of our quads. or just the top of your kneecap. Pelvic floor is engaged, so that belly button is pulled back towards the spine. And here what I want you to do is only go as low as you can. If a hold at the top is tough enough, guys, for 20 seconds, 3 rounds to do. If a hold at the top is tough enough, let's just do the hold. If it's a slight bend in the elbows up and down, let that be what you're working on. Anybody who can go to halfway or into a full push-up, let's explore that range. What I want you to do, though, is when you're bending your elbows, don't let your hips fall through. You have to keep that connection through your pelvic floor, through your hips. The body moves up in one piece and down in one piece. We inhale going down, we exhale coming up. And again, you'll watch me from the front and from the side. I'm going to be changing my position, no need for you to. So, from that quadruped position, guys, step the feet back slightly. From there then, bring the hips forward, roll off the kneecaps. Now, what we don't want is that sag through the middle. Think straight line from the back of your head down to the backs of your knees. From there, 20 seconds, clock is on. Again, as far as you want to bend the elbows. Inhale going down. Exhale coming up. Control the speed. Keep the connection. The connection is the most important thing here, not how low we go. Should be feeling nothing on the back. Pulling that belly button back towards the spine. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just going to change the position so you can see me from the front. We're going to go into round 2. This time I want you to focus on keeping your elbows inside the width of the mat. So when we go down, we're not bringing our elbows out to the side. We're keeping them tucked in, bending at about a 45-degree angle to the body. Ready to go again. Clock on in 3, 2, 1. Away we go. Inhale, dropping down. Exhale, pushing back tall. Keep those elbows tucked in nice and tight to the body. Keep the engagement through the pelvic floor. Only lowering as much as you're comfortable. If that is a small bend and push back, that is perfect. Connection and the angle through your body is the most important thing here. We hold everything strong. We protect that back. Last one. And we relax. Just sitting back onto the heels. We have one more round to go for 20 seconds. One more round to do, guys. For the last 10 seconds on this one, I'm going to get you to hold at a level of your choice. Be that with arms straight, be that at a quarter, halfway, or full. Whatever way you're holding, you're going to hold that position strong and think of it as nearly a plank move. So think of your alignment and your connection to your pelvic floor. Last set, guys. 10 seconds, moving up and down. You might only get 2 or 3 push-ups in. And then a hold to finish off for 10. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The slower you do the movement, the tougher it's going to be. So take the time to fall in sync with the breath. Not pushing back up too quickly, not lowering too quickly. Next one, we're going to go down and we're going to hold wherever we want. 10 seconds, squeeze. Now hold that position. Pelvic floor engaged. 3, 2, push back tall. And from there, point the toes back behind you. Sitting bones back onto the heels. Drop the head and chest down low. From there, guys, come through nice and low on the mat. Hands into the floor. Bridge up into our cobra stretch. Good stuff. From there, lifting the bum up off the heels. High plank position once more. And from there, we'll sit the heels back into the floor. Let the head and chest drop between the arms. High plank position again. From there, just walk the hands back through the midpoint of the body, back to the feet. Let the body hang down towards the feet. Try and rest the fingertips to the ground, so you need to bend the knees. Bend the knees. Once you have your fingertips on the ground, hold them connected to the floor, and just lift that tailbone up towards the roof as high as you can. So we're just increasing that stretch down to the backs of the legs. From there, just bring the feet together. Bring the hands onto the backs of the legs. Gently pull the body in towards the legs. Chin to chest, looking up into the belly button. From there, gently slide the hands up the backs of the legs. Chin stays tucked in. Lift the head last. Roll your shoulder blades back and down. Bring feet back to hip width apart. Palms open up facing forward. Neck elongated, looking straight through the wall in front. Push the toes into the ground. Draw the arches off the floor. Feel the legs tighten. Pelvic floor, pubic bone to tailbone. Feel yourself being pulled up towards the ceiling. A good, strong posture position. Something we can practice as the day goes through. Not always going to be in a perfect posture position, but as much as we can remind ourselves, it's going to benefit us. So pull in and pull up. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out. Good stuff, guys. Thank you very much today for joining us. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you over the next couple of days from all of us here. Have a great day.